So, Gypsy has officially announced that her podcast is actually going to happen. She made a TikTok and she wanted to know who people would like to see on her podcast. She says she's already talked to people like her stepmom, Christy, her dad, Ken. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I thought when she originally announced the whole idea of this whole podcast deal, it was supposed to be, speaking to trauma survivors, people that had survived ABUSE, things she didn't have to go through, So, how does that fit with Ken, Christy, and Rod? I mean, what if they survived? I mean, I guess they are lucky that they've survived life with Gypsy so far, because being around Gypsy, that's definitely not a guarantee that you're going to survive. I mean, look at her past. So in the comments, a lot of people are saying Nancy Grace. No, because Nancy Grace still buys into all the lies. But of course, these are all the ass kissers in her comments. Here's what I'd like to see. I would love to see her mother, Dee Dee, because as far as I'm concerned, Dee Dee was a good mother. She fought and did not give up until she found out what was really wrong with Gypsy. But what I would really love to see, even more than that, is let's get an FBI agent on this podcast. Let's take a lie detector test, Gypsy. Now that would go viral. You want to make some money? I guarantee you'd make a lot of money if you took a lie detector test on your podcast. Let's finally get to the truth. Let's ask the hard questions. Or let's bring someone else on your podcast like Becca Scoops. Let her ask you the hard questions. Fancy Maselli. She's been through all the medical records. She knows all the background. Let's let her have a talk with you. But it'll never happen because Gypsy's not going to put herself in a position to where she's going to be called out and to where she's going to be found out. And I really wonder if she took a lie detector test. There's a part of me that believes that she is probably a good enough liar that she may be able to fool the test. I mean, look at how many people she's got fooled. I'm watching all these creators, and they're getting more and more frustrated as time goes on. Why they can't, why all these people are still in Gypsy's corner, why they still believe the lies, even though we have all these FOIAs out here, all the videos the sick videos she made, like the videos promising her 13-year-old fictional daughter to Nick to take her V card. Things like that. Just disgusting. And these people still believe, even showing the medical evidence, that there was no ABUSE. None. Every procedure she had was due to conditions from her microdeletion. But here's the thing, and it's very disheartening, but these people, the vast majority of people, are not going to change their opinion at this point on Gypsy Rose. Because let's face it, most of the anti-Gypsy Rose, we see it here on TikTok and YouTube. And these creators have put their heart and soul into getting the truth out. But how many people don't look at TikTok, don't look at YouTube? So they're not having access to this information, to the FOIAs, the medical records, all the disgusting details, all the lies, the contradictions. They have yet to see it because they're not following, the creators. Until this is brought into the mainstream media, opinions aren't going to change. Now you got Becca Scoops. I appreciate the work Becca Scoops is doing. Her and what's her name, Lori, the Dream Expert. They're trying to get this out there into the mainstream media. Until this story It's in the mainstream media. Opinions aren't going to change. So that's what we need to do, is we need to find a way to get the story exposed in the media, on the 5 o'clock news, the 10 o'clock news, in the newspapers, in the news articles online, where the vast majority of people will see that she is a phony. So getting back to this podcast, though, who would you like to see on the podcast? I already said I'd like to see someone give her a lie detector test, or maybe Becca Scoops. Let's put her on there. Or, hell, I'll go on there and tell her what I think. Ask her the questions. Not that I'd be any good at it, but I digress. But tell me, who would you like to see on Gypsy's podcast? Let me know down in the comments.